Hey everybody, thank you for joining me here for another session of advice with a Zodiac twist. Okay, so today we're going to be doing advice for a fellow YouTuber and also a fellow Scorpio. And basically she wanted my opinion on how do I think Taurus men and Scorpio women can get along in a relationship. So I'm going to be doing that today. I'm kind of like freestyling because I didn't write anything down, but we're gonna get it together. Okay, so first thing, I just want to focus on you for a minute. You know, as a fellow Scorpio female, I can be 100% with you. We tend to be extremely particular and picky when it comes to people that we're attracted to, you know, because we can see a guy that is incredibly cute, but something about him will just turn us off instantly. So it's not just looks that do it for us. There's so much more. We look beneath the surface, like peeling layers of an onion. We never just take people at face value, and this goes for any type of situation. We're very, we tend to be very probing when it comes to situations like that. Like me, I'm a researchaholic, so, I never take people or things at face value. That's just the type of person I am, which is probably why I'm single. But anyway, as a Scorpio female, and this just goes for Scorpio females because Scorpio men are in a totally different league, so, don't judge a Scorpio female as you would a Scorpio male because they're not the same at all. Scorpio women, we tend to live in the future. Now, what I mean by that is we always try to think ahead, try to think long term, and try to plan for what could happen because we try to control outcomes. We are control freaks. It's just the way it is. I'm control freakish, I'll be honest. So, some people tend to live in the past and dwell on things that happened like 10, 13 years ago. And a lot of people live in the present, in the here and now, what's going on today, in this moment. And if, some people have a good balance of being able to live in the future and living in the past and, drawing from both of those experiences, and being able to live in the present. But, like I said, Scorpios, we live in the future because we try to control every damn thing. It's just the way it is, just being honest. Now, here's your dilemma. With Taurus men, they are, the thing that you have in common the most with Taurus men is the fact that Scorpios and Taurus, we're both fixed water signs. Fixed signs. Scorpio is a water sign and Taurus is an earth sign. Now, earth as an element is what? Immovable, stubborn. And think of your Taurus in that way. They hold steadfast in their opinions, and they really don't want to change their opinions. If they're feeling some type of way about something, they're not going to change their mind. And Scorpios are the same exact way. So that's the biggest thing that you're going to have to get over because you're going to bump heads a lot on that aspect. But, I definitely think it can work, but it's going to take a boatload of compromise on both of your ends. Because, like I said, the biggest hurdle that you're going to have to get over is the fact that you are both really stubborn, very obstinate, very bullheaded. You have your opinion and you stick with it. And like I said, I think the physical attraction between the two of you is really strong. But for Scorpio women, it's so much more to it than just the physical. Like I said, we'd like to look deeper beneath the surface. And with Taurus men, they're not extremely superficial, so I won't say that because they're not superficial. But let me put it this way. They're very simplistic. You know what I mean? They're very simplistic, and they really don't like a complicated person. They're very predictable. They find comfort and predictability in having routines, which can be good, but it can be kind of not good if you're not really looking for someone who is steadfast on doing pretty much the same thing almost on a regular basis. So that's something that you might also want to think about. I think in terms of friendship, this can be really good because there is no expectations when it comes to friendships. You're just friends, right? But in terms of dating or taking it to that level, I just want you to think long and hard before you really decide whether or not this person is the one for you. Because like I said, I'll say it again because it's really important. The biggest obstacle that you're going to have to get over is the fact that you're both very stubborn. You have your opinion, you're very strong-minded and can be kind of single-minded, and so can he. So that's going to be a big deal, And like I said, on the friendship level, there's no reason why you two can't get along. But if you want to take it to the next level, really good. I've had this book for a few years now, and it's really good. Like I said, it definitely goes in depth on compatibility between the two signs, and also it goes into depth about other planetary alignments, your Mars, your Moon, and your Venus, which is also really important